Stop scrolling if you're over 60 and you've been told to load up on vegetables for better health, because what I'm about to share could change everything you thought you knew. You see, one of the healthy staples sitting in your fridge right now may be secretly sabotaging your circulation, draining your energy, and even undermining your confidence in the bedroom. It's not a sign of age, it's a hidden trap in the foods you trust. Imagine waking up with more strength in your legs, sharper focus in your mind, and a renewed sense of vigor that makes you feel decades younger. What if I told you that some vegetables aren't the powerhouses they're cracked up to be, while others so simple, so overlooked, hold the key to real lasting vitality? Today we're going to flip conventional wisdom on its head and reveal 4 foods you must cut from your plate immediately, and 4 incredible swaps that can restore your energy support, healthy hormone balance, and reignite the spark you thought was gone for good. This isn't about quick fixes or pills that promise overnight miracles. It's about the everyday choices you make at the dinner table and how tiny shifts can spark profound changes in your body. You've spent a lifetime hearing "eat your veggies," but no one ever told you that preparation, variety, and timing can turn a miracle cure into a toxic trap. Stay with me to discover the surprising compounds hiding in familiar foods, the real science behind why certain vegetables can boost nitric oxide and cholesterol balance, and how the right choices can bring back the strength, confidence, and vitality you deserve. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which foods to avoid and which simple, delicious options will help you reclaim your health one forkful at a time. Let's dive in. I'm Dr. Henry Carter, a board-certified longevity specialist with over 3 decades of clinical experience helping men and women over 60 reclaim their strength, clarity, and confidence. Over the years, I've guided thousands of patients through the maze of health advice, separating fact from fiction, evidence from hype. I've seen firsthand how well-meaning experts can overlook critical nuances in nutrition and how small misconceptions become big problems over time. My goal isn't to sell you on the latest trendy diet or miracle supplement. Instead, I draw on peer-reviewed research, decades of patient outcomes, and time-tested clinical practice to deliver advice that truly works for seniors. Whether it's optimizing blood flow, balancing hormones, or protecting your heart and prostate, the strategies I share have been refined in real-world settings with tangible results. Today's insights come from a combination of controlled trials, biochemical studies on plant compounds, and thousands of patient transformations. These aren't just theories, they're proven methods that have helped people just like you rediscover the vitality they thought was gone for good. So trust that what follows is grounded in science, validated by experience, and tailored specifically for the challenges of aging gracefully. Tease of the big reveal. In just a moment, we'll uncover 4 everyday foods that might be quietly tearing down your vitality. But more importantly, I'll show you 4 powerful alternatives that can rebuild your strength from the inside out. You'll learn which seemingly innocent staples can spike estrogen levels by over 30%, stealthily inflame your circulation, and strip away the nutrients you need most. But don't click away yet, because the real surprise is how simple these swaps are and how quickly you can feel the difference. In the next section, I'll reveal the first vegetable you should remove from your diet immediately, and the one humble replacement that can supercharge your circulation in days. Before we dive in, make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on, because missing these insights means missing out on the small choices that add up to big transformations. Ready? Let's get started. Phase 1. Avoid these 4 foods. Now that you understand why not all vegetables are created equal, let's dig into the first half of our formula, the 4 foods you need to cut from your diet right now. These aren't obscure ingredients hidden in specialty stores. They're everyday staples that most of us eat without a second thought. Yet each one carries hidden compounds or processing traps that undermine circulation, hormone balance, and energy, especially after 60. In the next few minutes, we'll explore how ultra-processed breakfast cereals, farm-fresh eggplant, store-bought tomato sauces, and overcooked cruciferous vegetables can work against your body, creating inflammation, hormonal imbalances, and nutrient loss. For each, you'll hear a real patient story, the science behind why it hurts, and the simple switch that stopped the damage. Let's begin. Food number 1, ultra-processed breakfast cereals. Every morning, millions of seniors reach for that colorful box of flakes or spoonful of instant granola, believing they're starting the day off right. But meet Joe, 72, a retired teacher who swapped his old oatmeal for a popular breakfast cereal and soon found himself wired and drained by mid-morning. You see, these cereals may boast whole grain or heart healthy on the front, but behind the marketing is a cocktail of refined sugars, artificial flavors, and chemical additives. The moment you pour in milk and take that first bite, your blood sugar spikes, triggering an insulin surge that crashes your energy 90 minutes later. Over time, those repetitive insulin peaks fuel chronic inflammation, impair blood vessel function, and accelerate the very aging processes you're fighting against. Worse yet, breakfast cereals lurk in unexpected places: protein bars, meal replacement shakes, even some nutrition cookies. You might think you're making a healthier choice, but you're really doubling down on ultra-processed ingredients that rob your body of steady fuel. In Joe's case, cutting out his cereal ritual was a game changer. Within days, he noticed fewer energy slumps, steadier moods, and even calmer digestion because his body was finally getting sustained nourishment instead of roller coaster spikes. Later on, we'll talk about what to enjoy instead. But for now, remember this: if your breakfast leaves you peaking and crashing, it's not age, it's the processed ingredients. And it's time to reclaim your mornings with real unprocessed foods that feed you steadily from dawn until lunch. Food number 2, farm-fresh eggplant. Next up is eggplant, a vegetable many of you trust as a gourmet staple, especially in Mediterranean dishes. But for seniors, eggplant and its nightshade relatives can be a hidden source of low-grade inflammation. Take Marilyn, a 68-year-old retired nurse who followed a Mediterranean diet to the letter. Every evening, she'd enjoy a baked eggplant casserole, believing it was a heart-healthy choice. Yet over time, her joints ached relentlessly, and she struggled to fall asleep because of the stiffness in her knees. Eggplant belongs to the nightshade family, which includes tomatoes, peppers, and white potatoes. These vegetables contain alkaloids, naturally occurring compounds that in some people trigger subtle inflammation in connective tissues and nerves. In younger bodies, this low-level irritation might go unnoticed, but after 60, it can exacerbate joint discomfort and impair nerve signaling, especially in the pelvic region, where circulation is already more fragile. For Marilyn, the moment of clarity came during a routine check-in when I asked her to walk me through her dinner plate. Seeing the eggplant front and center, we wondered if the nightly indulgence was fueling her inflammation. She agreed to put it on pause, and within 2 weeks she reported her knees felt looser, her sleep improved, and a lingering numbness in her legs began to fade. The takeaway: even vegetables hailed for their flavor and texture can work against you if your body reacts to their natural compounds. In our next section, you'll learn exactly which alternative veggies can soothe inflammation and support healthy nerve function so you can enjoy vibrant dinners without the ache. Food number 3, store-bought tomato sauces. Now let's talk about a pantry favorite that seems harmless: jarred tomato sauce. Whether it's marinara straight from the grocery aisle or that convenient pasta sauce you heat and serve, these products often carry hidden downsides. Consider Frank, a 75-year-old engineer who loved his weekly spaghetti nights. He used a premium jarred sauce he assumed was loaded with heart-healthy lycopene. Instead, he found himself battling bloating, acid reflux, and sluggish mornings. Here's the catch: mass-produced tomato sauces are typically cooked at ultra-high temperatures and preserved with additives and excess salt. That intense heat degrades lycopene, the antioxidant, known for its prostate protective and anti-inflammatory benefits, while hidden sugars and sodium spike inflammation and disrupt digestive health. In other words, what you think of as a nutrient boost can turn into a gut irritant and a cardiovascular stressor. When Frank switched from store-bought jars to a simple homemade sauce using crushed fresh tomatoes, a drizzle of olive oil, garlic, and fresh basil, he not only preserved more lycopene, but also controlled the salt and sugar levels. Within a week, he noticed reduced bloating, more consistent energy, and even smoother digestion. Jarred sauces offer convenience, but they come at the cost of degraded nutrients and unwanted additives. In our next segment, you'll discover the 4th trap: overcooked cruciferous vegetables, and how a minor tweak in cooking can transform a limp side dish into a powerful ally for hormones and detoxification. Food number 4, overcooked cruciferous vegetables. Finally, let's address a group you've likely been told is a cornerstone of healthy eating: broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts. Meet Walter, a 70-year-old retired architect who diligently steamed his broccoli until it was soft, and then sometimes microwaved leftovers when he was in a hurry. Despite his best efforts, he found himself waking multiple times at night, struggling with brain fog and feeling more fatigued than ever. The secret lies in sulforaphane, a powerful compound in cruciferous vegetables that supports estrogen detoxification, reduces inflammation, and helps balance hormones. Unfortunately, sulforaphane is extremely heat sensitive. Oversteaming, boiling, or zapping in the microwave destroys most of this molecule, leaving you with fiber, but stripping away its protective punch. When we adjusted Walter's prep method lightly, sautéing his broccoli for no more than 2 to 3 minutes, or even enjoying raw cauliflower florets dipped in olive oil, he began to unlock those benefits. Within days, his nighttime awakenings decreased, his mental clarity returned, and his overall energy improved. Don't let cooking methods turn a healing vegetable into an inert side dish. By treating cruciferous greens, gently preserving their vital compounds, you transform them from bland bulk to hormone-balancing powerhouses. Now that we've covered the 4 foods to avoid, we're ready to explore the 4 nutritional heroes that can rebuild your circulation, support your hormones, and reignite your vitality. Let's move on. Phase 2, embrace these 4 foods. Food number 1, arugula. Arugula may look like just another leafy green, but for men and women over 60, it acts like a secret performance booster. Take Tom, a 71-year-old former Air Force mechanic whose mornings had grown heavy and sluggish. He confessed that no matter how much rest he got, his legs felt leaden and his mind foggy. During a routine consultation, I noticed that Tom's plate was almost entirely beige, toast eggs, a bit of meat, yet barely any greens. When I suggested arugula, he was surprised. Within days of sprinkling a handful of those peppery leaves onto his breakfast and adding a small side salad at lunch, Tom began to feel a lift. Here's why arugula is naturally rich in dietary nitrates, which the body converts into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is the master key that relaxes and widens blood vessels, improving circulation to every part of the body, from your brain's memory centers to your legs, and yes, to intimate zones that may have lost their spark. Unlike synthetic stimulants that force a temporary rush, arugula works with your body's own pathways, supporting sustained energy, sharper focus, and more reliable blood flow. For Tom, that meant waking up with warmer feet, clearer thoughts, and a renewed sense of vigor he hadn't felt in years. In just a few mornings, he noticed his walks felt easier, his mood brighter, and even his stamina renewed in ways he never expected. Arugula's power isn't flashy, but it's quietly transformative, helping your body reclaim the natural strength it was built to deliver. Food number 2, fresh roasted red beets. Red beets might stain your fingers, but they'll ignite your circulation from the inside out. Consider Carl, a 67-year-old retired firefighter who loved his morning walks, but lately his legs felt cold and heavy, and the spring in his step had vanished. When I asked about his diet, he mentioned a daily serving of canned or pickled beets, thinking the nitrate promise was preserved. In reality, the canning and pickling processes destroy much of the beneficial nitrates and replace them with excess sodium that constricts blood vessels. Carl was unintentionally working against his own circulation. The remedy was simple: swap those canned beets for fresh ones, lightly roasted with just a drizzle of olive oil and a pinch of sea salt. Fresh roasting preserves the dietary nitrates, which convert in the body to nitric oxide, the same molecule that arugula delivers, but with a deeper, earthier punch. Within just a few days of adding roasted red beet slices to his dinner plate 3 times a week, Carl noticed his feet felt warmer in the morning. His endurance on walks improved, and his overall energy climbed steadily. That subtle surge in blood flow not only refreshed his legs and brain, but also supported more consistent vitality throughout the day. Red beets aren't a flashy supplement. They're a humble root vegetable, but when you prepare them right, they become a potent ally in restoring the circulation and strength that can fade with age. Food number 3, fermented greens. Fermented greens like kimchi and sauerkraut might seem like bold flavors, but for seniors, they deliver surprisingly gentle yet powerful benefits. Take Richard, a 74-year-old retired salesman who struggled with frequent urinary tract irritation, sluggish digestion, and low mood. He tried probiotics in pill form with little relief. When I asked if he ate any fermented foods, he admitted he thought they were too spicy or high in salt. Once he agreed to start with small portions of homemade sauerkraut, just 2 tablespoons each evening, everything shifted. Here's why fermentation transforms simple cabbage and other greens into a living source of beneficial bacteria. These probiotics support your gut lining, help eliminate excess estrogen metabolites, and reduce low-grade inflammation throughout the body. A balanced microbiome also improves nutrient absorption, bolsters immune defenses, and sharpens mental clarity areas that often wane with age. Within 10 days of adding fermented greens to his meals, Richard noticed fewer bladder irritations, smoother digestion, and an uplifted mood. His sleep deepened, and he felt more resilient against common evening fatigue. Fermented greens aren't about fiery flavors. They're about cultivating a healthy internal ecosystem that detoxifies, balances hormones, and energizes your body from the inside out. Even a small daily spoonful can set the stage for profound changes in health and vitality. Food number 4, raw cabbage slaw. Cabbage might seem humble, but when eaten raw as a crisp slaw, it becomes a detox powerhouse. Take Leonard, a 70-year-old retired librarian who felt perpetually bloated and low on energy, despite doing everything right by eating his veggies. He switched from mushy cooked cabbage to a simple raw slaw and saw a remarkable shift. The magic lies in intact sulforaphane precursors and fiber that only raw cabbage delivers. When cabbage is shredded finely and dressed lightly, say, with a splash of apple cider vinegar and a drizzle of olive oil, those compounds remain fully bioavailable, supporting estrogen, detoxification, reducing systemic inflammation, and feeding beneficial gut bacteria. Within just days of adding a daily serving of raw cabbage slaw to his lunch, Leonard noticed his bloating eased, his digestion smoothed out, and his afternoon fatigue lifted. That gentle yet steady detox support translated into clearer thinking, more stable moods, and an overall sense of lightness he hadn't felt in years. Raw cabbage slaw isn't flashy, but its intact nutrients make it one of the most effective low-effort ways to rebalance hormones, support digestion, and restore energy, one crunchy forkful at a time. Timing and pairing for maximum impact. Even the best foods can fall short if you overlook when and how you eat them. To amplify their benefits, pair with healthy fats. Many plant compounds like lycopene in tomatoes or sulforaphane precursors in cabbage are fat-soluble. Drizzling olive oil or adding avocado helps your body absorb more of the good stuff. Space your veggies rather than loading all servings into one meal, spread them across the day. This maintains steady nutrient and nitric oxide levels, supporting sustained energy and hormone balance. Mind meal timing. Avoid large veggie-heavy meals right before bed. While nighttime is key for repair, an overly full stomach can disrupt sleep and dilute nutrient absorption. Aim to finish big veggie servings at least 2 hours before turning in. Hydrate strategically, drink water or herbal tea between meals, not just with them. This prevents dilution of stomach acids and enzymes, so you digest each nutrient more efficiently. Implement these simple timing and pairing strategies, and you'll unlock the full potential of every forkful. Conclusion. You've now seen how 4 common foods, ultra-processed cereals, nightshades like eggplant, store-bought tomato sauces, and overcooked cruciferous veggies can stealthily undermine your health. And you've discovered 4 nutritional powerhouses: arugula, fresh roasted red beets, fermented greens, and raw cabbage slaw that rebuild circulation, balance hormones, and restore energy without prescriptions or gimmicks. Remember, real transformation isn't about overnight miracles. It's about consistent, informed choices at every meal. By pairing these vegetables with healthy fats, spacing them throughout the day, and timing your servings wisely, you set the stage for steady, lasting improvements in vitality, clarity, and confidence. If you're ready to reclaim your strength one forkful at a time, start by choosing one swap this week. Notice how you feel and share your experience in the comments below, because your journey could inspire another man or woman over 60 to take that first step toward better health. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for our next video, where we'll put it all together with a 7-day meal plan and simple recipes tailored for seniors. Your next chapter of vitality starts now. Let's write it together.